Monster Integration by Inwan. Chapter 61 Instructor Kelly. When I entered the building, I was greeted by the large lobby. It is very big, more than 5 times bigger than lobby in my building. People could be seen entering and exiting from the rows of elevators, and tens of projection screens are showing information on each floor and services it offers. The projector screens are showing the services the training center is offering. I was a little shocked seeing the list of them. Aside from advanced combat classes, it also has a gravity room, gravity training, monster battle, etc. Curiously, I checked the rates of services. Seeing the rates, my eyes went wide. Advanced combat styles are one of the cheapest ones, whilst gravity training and monsters battle is one of the expensive. I've heard that these courses help a lot in increasing one's power, but they too expensive. Anderson Training Center is one mediocre one. There are many high-end training centers in Middle and Central Ring, but they are too expensive for me to consider. There is still half an hour till my class starts. I decided to wait beside the class in the lobby. I got out elevator on the 6th floor. This where my class is. When I reached my class, I saw 50-something people already there waiting for the present class to end. There is a big glass which separates the class from the waiting area. My expression turned quite funny when I look 100-something people performing extremely weird moves. Not all people are doing that, only half of them, while another half just huffing their breaths. They look like they have run 100 km race and just resting, and some 10 or so people are laid unmoving on their mats. They look they're unconscious, and there is any in-looking instructor who seemed to shout those who were not performing, and he even kicked the one who looked unconscious. "Is this Night Blade class?" I said. "I am really confused. I thought I will see people swinging their blades in different style, or 2 people sparring on teacher's induction, but here I see people with no practice weapon on side performing weird exercise while teachers shouting and kicking them. It is really out of my expectations." "Yes, it is Night Blade class. This class is 15 days ahead of us," he said. "It really is our class. I would able to perform such exercise." As time passes more and people unable to keep up with exercise, some people even fell unconscious. After some shouting and kicking, some people did the class end, and by the end of the class, only 19 people were able to perform till last. All people from the previous batch exited the hall, and we entered as hall become empty. There are still 15 minutes till class starts. The teacher seems nowhere. Seeing another door, he must have left through it. I hope we didn't get the same teacher as the previous class. I don't want to shout or kicked in front of all these people. All people took their places. There are about 100 people are present in the hall, some talking while others silent, waiting for the instructor to come. It didn't take long though. Soon the door opened and instructor walked in. He looked to be in the early 40s with a lean build. He had not released his aura, so I didn't know his level, and I didn't dare to check it with my speech seeing his earlier actions. "Listen well, I am going to say this only once," said instructor in loud voice. "Those who want to cancel this class can cancel it now. At least you will get half of the money back." He continued. "This class going to be very painful for you. Night Blade style mainly focused speed and agility. You will have to perform many exercises that seemed hard or near impossible. I may curse you and hit, but I promise you once you successfully completed the course you will see a noticeable change in your fighting power. So, those who want to leave can leave within 5 minutes, and by the way, you can call me Instructor Kelly," she said, and sat on the small podium waiting. "All of us have come here to become stronger, and we already paid for it, so there is no question of leaving." Seeing no one leaving, Instructor Kelly smiled, but his smile has little sadist tinge in it. "Good, very good. You all are young men and women full of spirit. Now you just have to do what I say and do. While performing the exercise you can use whatever skill, technique, move you want," Instructor Kelly said, and started instructing and performing exercises. The exercises at first were simple, such normal stretching and all, but soon it started to become little complicated at times passes. Just when I thinking the instructor is good and how he not angry and violent as before, I heard his voice that made me realize that previous opinion of him is true. "You fucking shit number 29, why do it like a sissy, do it like a man," he shouted. All people stopped for a moment when they heard this shout, but quickly realizing if they dally, they will be his next target. He shouted at many people as time passed on. "He is really killing us by making us do this god-awful exercise. I am currently standing on my single feet while my other leg touching my head from behind, and I am standing in this position for 10 minutes. More than half of the students were already down and the instructor already kicked for them in his annoyance. Only half time had passed in this 3-hour class. I already feeling sore all over my body, and the only thing that kept me going is that not want to become the target of his insults and kicks. As time passed, the exercise became more complicated and new student fell and every few minutes. If not for me creating the first seal in the exercise, I would have won people who fell or became unconscious due exhaustion, and instructor said we have to perform this for 3 months before we could learn any fighting moves. He then in 3 months we practice these exercises regularly at home, it will free every pressure point and pore of our body, automatically increasing our speed in combat. Chapter 62 Adventurers Guild. Bam! You little sissy, you are worse than shit, our instructor shouted and kicked yet another unconscious girl. He had kicked more than 15 people, and there is no counting how many people he cursed in this past 2.5 hours. I am currently standing on palms of my 2 hands while legs are in the air in no style. It is really uncomfortable and I am barely hanging on this pose for a few minutes. I have been performing this weird exercises for hours, and there is a half-hour more till this class end. I don't know why, but after performing this exercise for half an hour, I feel like my energy draining at faster than normal rate, and I know I'm at my last leg. Everyone here is at LV3 of the private stage, and they have enough energy to run around for 12 hours constantly and not feels the strain that we are feeling right now. But somehow as we perform these exercises, we feel exertion as if had run around the city for day and night. I am counting seconds as they passed. Change in position, shouted instructor. I sigh a relief for white, thinking I will get few seconds of rest while performing. Instructor soon started showing new position on holographic projection and correction posture of those who do it wrong. When I sign up for advanced combat class, I thought I will get chance to fight new people as I learn, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. As our instructor said it, we have to perform these weird exercises for 2 months before we could learn any concrete fighting style. Rest, said instructor finally. I slowly unwind myself from the complicated position. Your next class will be 3 days later at the same time. I recommend you perform their exercises at home for maximum benefits. Class dismisses, you all can leave, said instructor. Hearing instructor saying the class is over, the class which as earlier had been full of gloom now turned lively. Those who were unconscious or were acting unconsciously suddenly became conscious with full of energy. I smiled, seeing, just minuit before we pain, but now we were jumping without care for sword muscle and tiredness. Nodding toward the boy I talked to earlier, I left the hall and walked toward the elevator. My walk is a little funny as I am feeling sore all over my body. I wanted to look at the other facilities of the training center, but I am too tired to do that. Leaving the building, I ordered for hovercar for the ride home. Choo-choo. Ashlyn comes out of me just as I sat on the hovercar. She loves sitting on the hovercar and watching scenery passed by. Choo. Ashlyn cried out as strong wind passed by her face. It is already evening and night is starry. The shining stars could be seen through the transparent roof of hovercar. We got out of the middle ring and entered the outer ring. It will only take 10 to 15 minutes to reach my apartment. As I watching scenery passed by from the hovercar window, I noticed a peculiar building. Adventurers Guild, Class 5 above the city has one. The status of this building is completely different as no government or organization could touch it. Adventurers Guild, most popular place in West Blood City or any other city, it livelihood of millions of people. The minimum requirement to join the Adventurers Guild is one has to be a specialist grade evolver. I also want to quickly level up to specialist grade so I could join Adventurers Guild. There are immense benefits joining it. With one it's a member, one can post a job or receive the job from Adventurers Guild. Almost all business, organizations, and government post jobs on the Adventurers Guild. One can never return empty-handed from Adventurers Guild as long as one's sufficiently powerful. Almost all adventurers sign up in the Adventurers Guild, and not only they, but the members of the various organization and government also sign up in the Adventurers Guild. Finding and posting a job isn't the only thing Adventurers Guild do, its a trading function is also popular. One can barter or auction any of his items on its platforms, with minute commission compared to another trading center. The current area I am hunting is the very outer edge of Myasta Forest. Except for monsters, nothing is there, but as one enters deeper into the forest he will come across many resources. The resources in the deep area are many, rare herbs which used in making an expensive potion, ores and minerals for teens, exotic and powerful monster that can easily kill those above their level, all these in deep area. Many high-level adventurers enter deep in the Myasta Forest for precious bounty that will make them rich enough to retire and live a comfortable life, while others go for practice and thrill for danger. I've heard that Adventurers Guild had constructed many bunkers inside Myasta Forest for adventurers for their safety and rest. Almost all the specialist grade evolvers in my apartment building are members of the Adventurers Guilds. Seeing them, I also wanted to join Adventurers Guild, but alas I can't, I am not specialist grade yet. If Ashley keeps going in this pace, she will be able to evolve into specialist grade within 2 months, but it's all on premise on if she was able to evolve in current pace. But that is highly unlikely to happen. Ashlyn is low-strain monster, her progress detained to be slow. My parents' gray spark sparrows had taken 2 years to evolve into specialist from peak private stage. I am not going to lament on her low strain. There have been many monsters who were able to level up quick speed despite their low strain and low talent. If they could then Ashlyn also could do that. I have full confidence in her. As I was in my deep thoughts, the hover car had already reached my apartment. I pick up Ashlyn in my hand and got out of the car and walked toward my apartment building. Chapter 64 Green Hills. 10 minutes more. I said through my gritted teeth. Beads of sweat flooded my temple as all of my clothes were drenched with sweat. It's been a month since I've started attending advanced combat classes twice a week, and it's hell. Aside from the pain and extreme discomfort, this exercise like a sponge which sucks all of your energy, but there is the result though. First, I half-hearted practiced because the instructor had said, but when I went to hunting that week, it clearly saw improvement in me, although it was minute. I noticed it but did not dwell on it, but in the second week, I went to hunting. I come across young razor mantis, which is known of its speed and blade-like sharp body parts. While fighting it, I noticed that my body had become very agile and free, and there no friction of muscle. When I use my sword, moves because of that I successfully able run away from it. That is when I decided to practice wholeheartedly and practice daily at home. As the classes advanced, so is difficult, and soon it became difficult to last more than 2 hours. That is when I started to use moves of exercise. Through it I was able to endure the 3 hours of exercise. It didn't help me circulate any advanced moves, it did help me with their smooth circulation. I now can instantly circulate up to 9th move within a second, before it used to take me a few seconds to reach the 9th move. I currently circulating 9th move of the exercise. While performing this exercise, only 2 exercises remain. I will be able to finish them in 10 minutes. I first used to practice at a training facility, but there were many problems there. Sometimes the private rooms were occupied, and in the open field, I got disturbed many times. Experiencing this, I decided to practice in my apartment. I just had to move some furniture to make enough that I could do exercise. Although my apartment had become cramped because of this, but adjustable. This pose is really weird. Both legs are wrangling on the waist and my one hand is around my neck and other around my bottom. This pose by worst of all exercises I've ever performed. When our instructor first time, all the hall rang out with laughter. Even our ever stoic instructor had an uncomfortable expression. We only stopped laughing when our instructor started cursing through his gritted teeth. The good thing is this is the last pose and I will be free after I perform this last pose. Choo-choo. Ashlyn also chirped seeing me like this. I can clearly sense mirth in her chirp. I just have to do it for 2 more minutes, then it will be finished. In the past month, I had gone hunting in the forest for 5 times and made little more than 500,000 credits selling monster materials. With it, I completely paid my fees of advanced combat class and have little over 100,000 left in my account. Ting sound rang out my holowatch and I relaxed from my position. I let out a sigh of relief as finally finished this god-awful exercise for today. Without wasting any time, I took my sweat-filled body to shower to get rid of all this filth. Trang. I was happily singing in the shower when my holowatch rang out. When I looked at watch who it was, it is Vince. He is one good friend I made in my advanced combat class. Hey, Vince. I said after activating the audio-only mode. Did you check the newsfeed of the West Blood City? Vice asked instead of greeting. What happened? I asked, feeling curious. I never heard Vice so serious and excited at the same time. It's all over the news feed. From the last midnight spatial disturbances started to occur in Green Hills, many exotic monsters, herbs, minerals come out it, hundreds of people struck rich, he said. I got shocked hearing this, but what he said next shocked me more. One of my friends found fist-size mineral. It turned out very rare and sold for million credits, he said. My mind simply stopped working hearing this. You are not lying, right? I asked, it too good to be true. Struck rich overnight. I had a hard time believing what Vince is saying. I swear on my mother. It's not lying. He swore. It's not all fortune though, there have been hundreds of deaths. The monsters that come out it are really dangerous. A lower level monsters are killing higher level developers, he said. Lower level monster killing higher level evolver. It is really incomprehensible. Normally lower level evolvers easily kill the higher level monster. I have to go now, Michael. I already reached Green Hills. Call me if you came. He cut the call before I can ask any more questions. I quickly got out of the shower and started to check West Blood City's news feed. As I started reading, utter disbelief appeared on my face. What Vince said seemed true, but things are more complicated than he told me. Thousands of people had found fortune but also death. They found more than thousands of bodies of people and the majority of them were adventurers. The government and many organizations had put a barricade in but Green Hills area is big enough that they can't barricade on all. Millions of people from adventurers to organizations and government is already there and many more are going by second. Not only low-level over but high-level developers are also going there. To them million is nothing. Killing one high-level monster can earn them millions. They are going because one adventurer had come across Mana Gem. Mana Gem is irresistible to high evolve. I don't know much about Mana yet, only knew that they are an immense help to high-level evolver. The most disturbing thing is that thousands of low-level evolvers had disappeared mysteriously and they are saying that these low-level evolvers must have stepped away in spatial getaway somehow. After carefully reading all the news feed, I decided to go. It will be dangerous, but if I luckily found some fortune, even a small one, that will help me in a big way. I changed into my adventuring clothes, wore my armor and packed me a backpack and left my apartment. The elevator is nearly packed by people and from their getup and looks, it seems like all of them going toward the Green Hills. Beep, a notification rang out on my holo as got out of the elevator. It is mail from Jim. It is just like Vince informing me about the Green Hills. It just Jim mail had additional information of Green Hills that wasn't shown on news. It will be very helpful to me when I reach the Green Hills. I try to call him to say thank you but he is not reachable. After trying calling him many times, I mail him thank you and waited for a cab to appear. Chapter 65 Space Realm. It took me 20 minutes to get a cab from my apartment and have to wait more than an hour at my Asta Bazaar before I could get the second cab for Green Hills. The cab had charged me 4 times more than normal fare. Looks like these day cab companies going to earn a shitload of money. As I am flying in the hover car, I see thousands of hover cars every second in the route of Green Hills. Usually seeing hundreds are very rare. Green Hills is not part of my Asta forest. It is a different area which has a chain of small and big hills. It is a low danger area, only specialist grade monsters were found there and rarely any corporal level monster was found there, and that is why there are hundreds of small towns are around the Green Hills. It would take car little more than 3 hours to reach the Green Hills. Not wasting any time in the ride, I decided to view the information that Jim had to send me. Earlier at my apartment building, I just viewed it on the surface, but now that I carefully read it, it is quite detailed. Aside from mentioning safe areas and the areas which are occupied government and various organizations, he also mentioned the areas where most fortune and found. They found precious ores, exotic monsters, and mana gems. People have been going crazy over mana gems. A thumb-size mana gem had been selling for millions of credits. It is written here that there is some kind of spatial disturbance over Green Hills and only corporal level or below evolver can venture inside. Many sergeant grades, master grade, and other high-level evolvers tried to venture inside, but most of them were cut by spatial tides. Only those below corporal level can remain unaffected by it. But spatial tides were least of their worries. Many dangerous monsters said have come out spatial passageways. It said some of the monsters are completely different from those that are found in the continent. These peculiar monsters are very dangerous and attack at first sight. That not a bad thing. The bad thing is that they're extremely dangerous and same-level developers are no match for them. And disturbingly many of revolvers are disappearing every second. Jim said that some kind of unstable space realm had coincided with the space of Green Hills and the disappeared ones are probably accidentally entered this space realm. Space realms are not a new thing, I've heard of them. There are many space realms across the Republic but all of them in control of government and organizations and only their elites can train there. There are many types of space realms, they appear and disappear at specific time cycle. Some are stable that they are always opened and some like this one that opened on the Green Hills unstable and dangerous. Still, many people go there despite a high chance of dying. It is all because of fortune because once they have stuck rich they can easily retire and live off their life spending that fortune. After reading all the information that Jim had sent, I changed the course of hover car. I decided to go west side of Green Hills than previously decided south side. West side is dangerous but many people had found fortune there. I will not enter deep and only scourge on the outskirt. I still love my life more than any fortune. Soon, I reached the west side of Green Hills and my hover car stopped at the entrance of a small town. As I stepped out of hover car, I saw thousands of hover car coming and going, dropping thousands of people every minute. The town looked small, not more than 1,000 houses are there but now there are thousands of camps surrounding the town. Not just people there are hundreds of makeshift shops are there selling all kinds of things an adventurer will need. This is only one town, there are hundreds of towns are surrounding Green Hills. These spatial tides are probably both blessing and curse for the townspeople. They will earn enough money in a week that they probably earn in the year but they also have bear all unruly adventurers in their town. Fortunately, I have everything I need in my backpack. After asking around some people, I left after choosing my destination. I have come across many people on this some were alone while others were in groups but just as I got near hills crowd began to thin out and as I about enter the boundary of the hill I barely saw anyone. I activated both my armors and sword. I heard many dangerous monsters had come out of it. I don't want to be entangled by them. I don't have any high hopes, I just come here to try my luck. Even if I didn't find any fortune I will not be sad. It is already late afternoon, I will spend a maximum of 3 hours in the hill before going back to the town as I already paid for the tent space to the town. As I walk upward toward the hill, I've come across many private grade monsters but I killed them while walking. I about reached the top of the hill when I heard some sound, I quietly walked toward it. When I got close, I spotted the body of the monster is definitely dead seeing its position. I wasn't able to tell which monster's body it is half of its body hidden by brambles but on careful observation, I think it's probably blank horn antelope. The sound is still coming from it, I can't see clearly what made the sound as the body is already half hidden. Making my mind I walked closer to it when my eyes fell on the body, I got startled because I found cute monster cub of a tiger eating the heart of the antelope. I don't know what monster it is but at one of the cuties I've seen, it white but all over its body had blue lines. These blue lines are radiating enchanting blue glow which kind looked like blue fire. I don't know what species of tiger monster it is but looking at its size and its level, it's probably still a cub means it is eligible for bonding. If I am able to capture and sell it, I will able quite some of the money, even it is a useless monster, many girls will buy it just because of its looks. I was about to move to capture it when I carefully looked at the dead monster body. From the size of its body, it is a specialist grade monster, its body full of claw marks and they probably 3 inches but when I looked at the size of claw my heat stopped. Because they are the same size as a little tiger, seeing it fear filled my eyes and I started to retreat slowly and silently but it was too late. The cub had already noticed me, it looked at me with its cute round eyes. It looked completely harmless but soon its mouth suffused with a smile. It looked extremely mocking and cruel, suddenly 3-inch blue claws come out of its paws and it jumps toward me to attack. Clank! Thud thud as its claws and my sword touched, I felt the immense force that knocks me back. It is a good thing and that I speedily circulated the 10th move of exercise within a minute but all aside that little cub still caught me off guard. Clank clank clank! It started the attack with stopping. Its speed is so fast that I am barely able to counter it. Slice. See. I let out sound as its claws touched my neck, drawing a thin line of blood. I was barely able to survive that claw, but I still can't control my heartbeat because of that. I started retreating while trying to circulate the move of the exercise. Clang clang, slice. I got another scratch, but this time it is my cheeks. Ashlyn wanted to come out but asked her to stay put. I can still handle this. I don't if this little monster alone or had any other accomplices. Ashlyn would be very useful if any little tiger's accomplices appeared. Clang. I finally able to reach the 11th move, but it is no use. This monster still has upper hand. A sound come out of my mouth as I felt sudden heat. All greenery disappeared. When I looked around I find myself at a completely different place. Shit. I cursed out loud. I accidentally entered the space realm. One moment I was surrounded by greenery and next moment I am at completely barren landscape. Fuck 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 fuck. I cursed again. Unstable spaces are always like this, you can never predict anything with them. Chapter 66 Space Realm 2. Fuck fuck fuck. I cursed out loud. I fucking entered the spatial realm and an unstable one at that. After cursing few minutes, I calmed myself. It's not the end of the world. From what I know, thousands of people entered the spatial realm accidentally and many of them from various organizations and government. They will not stand idly by and will do something rescue the people. Now what I have to do is find some people. I didn't see the sun in the sky but I am feeling uncomfortable sun rays. Except for barren earth there is nothing I could see. I have enough food and water which would last me for 2 days. In 2 days I have to find a new source of food and waters. Choo choo. I asked Ashlyn to come. She had wanting to come out for some time. Ashlyn, see if you could find something from high above, I said, but then I remember something. Quickly look and come down. There are many dangerous monsters are here. I reminded her. Many dangerous monsters had come out that spatial tide, and that tiger monster that I fought earlier was only at private grade but I barely able counter its moving. Choo choo, she chirped in affirmation and flew away in the sky. When I looked at her in the sky, I had to shield my eyes from intense sun rays. Come out of my mouth because I noticed something peculiar about this environment. I noticed that mana I am inhaling is many times purer than that in the Republic. It is a very good thing for me. My man purity is currently at 71%. If I spend 10 days in this realm, I am pretty sure my mana purity could reach 75% purity. I take a deep breath. It felt good but also very hot. I can feel Ashlyn is very near me. I just can't see her with this intense sun rays. Chew. Ashlyn smoothly landed on my shoulder. Did you find something? She nodded and started wave her wings toward the west. Good job Ashlyn, I said and patted her. I started to walk toward west while she flew ahead. I already cautioned her to fly low and if she saw any flying monster, she had to inform me quickly. I walked toward the direction that Ashlyn mentioned for 2 hours but there is no change in scenery. All I saw was barren land. I even began to doubt the way I am walking. After checking compass many times did I feel sure that I am walking in the right direction. Choo choo. I heard Ashlyn's urgent chirp as she flew toward me. Urgency. I can even sense little fear from her emotions. Seeing that I quickly activated my sword and armor and circulated the moves of exercise to peak. Chew. Ashlyn quickly come closer and started to flew around me. I didn't see any monster but Ashlyn saw then must be closer. Soon I spotted a black spot in the air and it is coming toward me. I got the good look at it as it came closer. It is some kind of eagle monster. It is black and gray color and about half of my size. Screech. Swish, it screeched loudly and flapped its wing. A light black wind blade come out its wings. Shit. I said, seeing the wind blade. The wind blade is the same size as me and speedily coming toward me. It looked really dangerous. I prepared to counter but wind blade was halfway in the air. Ashlyn threw palm-size fireball at the wind blade. In the past 1 month Ashlyn and I are both working on our abilities. Now Ashlyn can make palm-size swirling fireball. Ban, sounded as fireball and wind blade met at air but soon that wind blade comes out of blast. It looked little dim but still feels lethal. Shing, metallic sound come out as wind blade and my sword touched. I easily countered the wind blade without any obstruction. Screech scream. Monster Eagle screeched loudly and quickly sent two wind blades one after, at seconds difference successively. Ashlyn also threw a fireball. But Ashley failed to slow down only one wind blade as she can't successively summon one fireball after another. She has to take little rest between every fireball. I dodged the first wind blade but second, I have to count with a sword as it is right behind the first one. Shining, a big force came to my sword countered the wind blade. It is forceful but not enough to make me take a step back. Shit. I cursed, as I saw that eagle coming toward me. Its sharp talons could easily pierce my skull. Ashlyn released the fireball. Seeing a fireball coming toward it, it didn't dodge but dived toward it. Boom! Rang out as fireball hit monster, but soon monster comes out of fireball unscathed. Not even its feathers were burned. Seeing those sharp talons coming toward me, I moved my sword to counter. Clang rang out, and seeing its attack had failed, it flew away in the sky using my sword as leverage. Screech, screeching loudly in the sky, it again attacks with wind blades, but this time it attacks with 3 wind blades consecutively and followed behind. It wanted to attack me, while I am busy with wind blades. Ashlyn, leave wind blades to me and try to stall monster with a fireball. Ashlyn nodded with her head while creating a swirling fireball. The fireball didn't do any damage to the monster but it stalls it for a second. That will be enough for me to deal with wind blades. Shing shing shing. Clang. My plan worked perfectly fine. With time brought by Ashlyn fireball, I am able to deal with 3 wind blades and monster later. It started to attack with the same pattern every minute. Thank God that it can release only 3 wind blades at one time. With flawless teamwork of Ashlyn and me, we were able to resist the attacks of the monster. Our fight was going on for more than 1 hour. I can clearly understand its strategy. It wanted to tire me out with a constant attack before killing me. It probably never come across with human or it wouldn't be this dumb. With it constantly attacking me for 1 hour, I have already made a plan to kill it in one move. In the past 10 minutes, I've been acting tired, showing how difficulty I am having to resist its attacks. I even let its talons scratch my face, but now the time had come to finish this fight. Screech. It attacked with 3 wind blades consecutively and followed behind with its talons in front like always. Ashlyn also releases her fireball to delay the monster. As I dodge and counter 3 wind blade, it comes right behind and attacked me with its talons. Clank. Thud. I took 2 steps back while countering its claws. Seeing this, it moves its claw forward to attack me with second time, but this time its claw speed is very slow that I can easily dodge. Dodging its claws, I speedily moved my sword toward its neck. It goes wide. Seeing this, no matter how stupid the monster is, it can always sense it's dead before it ends. Slice thud. I decapitated it in a single move and it fell on the ground with a loud thud. Chapter 67 Space Realm 3. I quickly remove and packed the heart of the eagle monster and strode away from the fight scene after burning the monster's body. I can't predict the time as there is no sun in the sky, but feeling sun rays had to become less intense. I can tell that evening will come within 2 hours. I hope I can see another human at that time. This walking alone in barren land started getting into my head. It has been more than an hour since I killed the eagle monster, but I did not see any greenery. Except for a few cactuses, there is no plant in this barren land. Are you sure we going in right direction, Ashlyn? I asked. It's been 5 hours since I entered this space realm and more than 4 hours since I am walking, but I didn't note any sign of the forest that Ashlyn spotted on the sky. Choo choo choo. Ashlyn chirped in affirmation annoyingly. I already asked this question to her more than 10 times since we started walking. Even I felt bad asking her question repeatedly. I asked Ashlyn to search forest because that where I will find another person. People tend to travel toward a place where enough food and water is present, and the forest is a prime location for that. Forget the forest, I didn't see the sign of an oasis which are found in barren places. This wasteland really feels weird. I was walking as usual when I spotted little green dot far ahead. It is barely noticeable. I started to walk speedily. After half an hour that green dot and turned small outline. Ashlyn, that is forest, right? I asked her. I was sure what I am seeing is real or not. She flew away from my shoulder and came down within minutes. Choo choo, she affirmed excitedly. Hearing her excited chirp, I broke into run toward that outline, but reality is harsh. After running for an hour, that outline had only become little larger. I have to walk for a few hours to reach it there, and that is not possible today as sky already started turning dark. After walking 15 minutes, I decided to stop for today as the sky had already turned half dark, and within half an hour, the sky will darken whole. I look around for a good spot for camp. Some distance away I spotted a big boulder. The boulder is thrice my size and will be a perfect shield against any surface monster's vision. I removed the palm-sized square box from my backpack. This is the thing I brought at 70,000 credit last week. I felt quite conflicted when I brought it. I wanted to buy a new sword as it is little damaged, but weighing pro and cons, I brought this. This is the first time I will be using this. Putting it only the drought, I pressed the button the top. Just as I pressed the button, it started to expand, and within a minute, it turned into a camp. It is big enough that 3 people comfortably sleep inside. I opened its a flap and went inside of quite plain but comfortable. It is grade 1 utility type artifact. It is barely qualified to grade 1 artifact as it had defended against specialist grade monster, but here it only defends against private stage monster. It also had sensors which will notify me if any living being come inside its 100 meters range. I don't have to provide it mana to activate it, it runs on the monster core. I had already put monster core inside it the past week. It will stay activated for 5 days. Putting my backpack down, I removed a few things from my backpack: a monster's heart that killed earlier, a bottle of spices and oil, and adjustable utensils. I walk outside the camp taking these. I inject my mana into fist-size utensils, changing them to normal size. I added oil in a pan and started to heat it with fire I summoned. I want to cook the monster heart with species. This is my first time cooking monster food. I had little experience in cooking, but cooking normal food and monster are different. I started to cook the food in the direction of a recipe that read in passing. I asked Ashlyn to keep an eye out while I am cooking. Some monster may come toward our following the smell. The mouth-watering smell started to come out cooked meat. After checking it's cooked enough, I stopped the fire and went inside the camp. I decided food in 2 plates for both of us and started to eat. Ashlyn started to dig before I even touched my fork. Seeing she is complaining about the food, I also started to eat. It's better than expected, I thought as I stated the food. It is not as good as the food we ate in our apartment, but it quite good for the rookie cook. After eating dinner, I slept early as I feeling tired both physically and mentally. Ting ting. I woke up by the sound of the alarm when I opened the flap of the tent. It is still dark outside. Looking at the dim light, it will take an hour to the sky to fully brighten up. Freshening up quickly, I heated last night's leftovers. Choo choo. Ashlyn woke by its smell and started demanding the food. Little glutton, I said and served her plate. In the past month, I many times trained with Ashlyn, but there's no change in her weight. She looks chubby as usual. It became visible when I packed my camp, although I can't see the forest outline because it's still a little dark, but I know the general direction of it. After walking half an hour, the sky had fully brightened and I can see the forest outline. I will have to walk for 3 hours to reach it, but if I quicken my pace, it will be even more sooner. As I reached near the forest, I started spotting monsters now and then, and because Ashlyn early reminding me, we were able to avoid most them, while one being adamant in fighting, which I have to kill it. It took me 4 hours to reach near the forest, that I see its lush trees. As I walked near, I heard the fighting sound. When I got close enough, I saw 3 people surrounded by 20-something monster wolves. Seeing this, I quickly retreat back and hide behind the small mound. Chapter 68 Unbelievable. I quickly asked Ashlyn to come inside me as I sneakily hide behind the dry tree trunk. I would have hidden in the better place, but there is no spot near me which could hide my body perfectly. I don't want to run because once they caught the sight of me, I will be dead. Seeing I am well hidden, I took out binocular from my backpack. After carefully looking at the wolves, I guesses which monster species these wolves are. They are ice wolves from elemental wolves family, as this particular shade of white coat only ice wolves had. Due to the distance between us, I can't accurately sense their level, but looking at monster sizes, I am sure that they are definitely specialist grade, and their 2 leaders are at corporal grade. The wolves are howling at the 3 people, of which 2 are boys and 1 is a girl, but there is something weird going on there. the wolves are just howling at them as if thinking attack or not. I don't know what exact level of these three people, but they are definitely younger than me, so, they most probably at private grade, and if I am generous with my estimation then they would be at specialist grade. This is why I don't understand why aren't these wolves are attacking. There is another peculiar thing that three youths seemed very relaxed, so relaxed that they hadn't drawn out their weapons. I can think of only two reasons for their relaxing posture in this time of peril: either several corporal-grade evolvers were hiding and using these three people as bait, or these three people had a trump card that could threaten the ice wolves. Ill with former than latter, I want to see the corporal-grade evolver, only they will have enough information about this realm. The howling of ice wolves became increasingly loud and some beta wolves even tried to attack, but they are stopped halfway by the two leaders. The leaders of ice wolves seem cautious and patient, but their patience also thinning out, they will likely to attack any second. My guess was right, the ice wolves attack at next second by showing three people with their sharp ice projectiles. As I am sure these people would turn into skewed meat if they did not call reinforcement or used their trump cards, but what happened next left me startled. Three blue-colored light shields appeared in front of three people which defended them from sharp icicles from ice wolves. There was not scratch appeared on the shield as they defended the attack, but their problem is just started as all the 20-something wolves coming toward them. One boy and girl shrank their shield to arm size while activating their sword, while another boy completely forgoes shield and activated his warhammer. It is the same size as his, and he had to use his both hands to wield it. As the ice wolves came closer, they attacked. I got immensely startled by their attacking speed. Even attacks are 20-something wolves. These three people attacked unhesitatingly. Their attacks are swift and ruthless, every swing of their weapon hit the monster, never missing their target. The wolves can seem to touch despite their quantity, not only attacking, but they are also defending skillfully. Even the boy who was using warhammer didn't get hit by any attack of ice wolves, as he expertly using his warhammer to attack and defend. When I looked at their attire, I noticed it looked similar to that of what Jim and his girlfriend wore that day, but these three people's attire seemed higher quality than theirs. It means that their people had done artifacts all over their body. Everything they wore is an artifact: armor, shoes, shield, etc. The battle raged on. The wounds on monsters' bodies are increasing. Although their wounds didn't look life-threatening, they got piled up. It will be very life-threatening. The two leaders did not sit idle. Now and then both the leaders sneakily attack with the sharp icicle, but at every time dodged or defended by three of them. As the times passed on, the wounds on the bodies of the monsters became heavy with injury and killed by a boy with warhammer as he squarely hit the monster on its head. As I watch the fight, I understand few things about these three people. First is they are extremely proficient in combat. This proficiency only comes from fighting hundreds of fights. Second, they are using their advanced combat technique very skillfully, using it became instinct to them. And last is what shocked me to the core. I am pretty sure that all three of them had created the 10 seals of supreme combat exercise. Their physical prowess is extremely great. As soon warhammer of that boy hit the monster, its bones broken, and it is very difficult to break bones of a monster with a single move. That is why I always go for weak spots of a monster such eyes and neck. The two-sword user isn't any worse than a boy with warhammer. Every attack of their sword left the deep gash on their skin. Seeing their kin dying every few minutes, the leaders jumped into the fight without caring there may be other people hiding. As the two leaders joined the fight, it put the strain on the three people, but they are still fighting back despite leaders joining the fight. There only 15 monsters are left, including two leaders. Currently, the fight is in the stalemate. No side is gaining upper hand in battle. Suddenly weapons of three of them started to glow and Lion's Phantom had formed appeared on then. Soon they Phantom became more corporal and big. Seeing something is not right, the wolf leaders started to attack more aggressively, but it was already as three youths had waved their swords same time and three giant phantoms left the swords. The ice wolf started to dodge the attack, but phantoms were too fast as it swiftly enveloped all of the wolves inside. This is definitely a skill. Half skill does not have this much power. I am really confused right now. Isn't the skill can only be used by corporal stage or above? This skill had drained too much of their mana as three of them quickly removed potions from their pockets and drank it. Mournful cries of wolves can be heard where I am hiding. In a minute, the phantoms started dispersing. As the phantoms dispersed, I get the clear look: the wolves, all ice wolves, look lifeless except for two leaders. Seeing all their kin dead, instead of fighting, the wolves broke into a run, but before they could go run any far, they took and bow and fired the two shots. The arrows of her hit ice wolf skulls and the monster fell. I feel dazed seeing this. That girl only uses 2 shots to kill 2 corporal level ice wolves. I am still in a daze when the 3 of them started walking without looking at the bodies of ice wolves. "Hey!" I called out loudly, seeing them walking away. Seeing how powerful they are, they must know some information about this realm. Hearing my shout, they stopped. I started to run toward them as I had many questions to ask. As I got near enough to sense their level, I stopped on my track. That I nearly fell. It's like lightning had struck me hard. I thought 3 of them at specialist grade and can kill above their level, but I was so wrong. Their level, all 3 of them are the peak of private grade, same as me. Then how the fuck are they able to kill corporal grade monster while being at private grade? I asked myself loudly. Chapter 70: The Map. I stopped on my track seeing all of them are at private grade. It really incomprehensible to think they can kill the monsters 2 grade above easily, and these monsters were not normal monsters either. They are many times stronger than the normal monsters back home. "Hey, what happened to you?" said Hammer Welding Boy snappily, which brought me out my stupor. "Are you all from the West Blood City?" I asked. I know they are not from the West Blood City. Their strength is completely different level compared to elites in the Republic. I watched many videos on the web and come across many elites of the organization while hunting, but I've never seen anyone have fighting prowess to skip 2 grades in combat. "No, we are from the Central Continent," replied the girl in their team. "Central Continent?" I asked back. I know there are other continents besides ours, but I never heard Central. "Central Cont." She is just answering my queries when other boy cut in. "Nina, enough chit-chatting. If we waste our time here, we will lose to the other teams. Look, friend, we are in a hurry, so ask whatever you want to ask quickly," said the other boy. I had accidentally entered this spatial realm. "Do you know how to get out of it?" I asked. "I just want to quickly get out of this realm. God knows what will happen if I stayed longer. These type unstable space realms are extremely dangerous." "Looks like this realm had formed 2 connection." "No, we don't know. We have our own entrance," he said. I got disappointed hearing that. "Did you encounter any new people since yesterday?" I asked. "This is the only choice I have. Find people from the West Blood City and try to find a solution with them. The government will not leave this much person stranded. They will do something, rescue us." Yes, we did. 50-something people were fighting some grade 3 monsters deep inside the forest. "I don't suggest you go inside before finding reinforcement," he cautioned. My mood worsens as he said they are inside the forest, and he mentioned that there are lots of corporal monsters are there. I don't think most of them will survive, seeing the strength of the monsters in this space realm. "Let me give you the map we have?" Girl names Nana offered said and sent my map into my holowatch. "Thank you," I said, giving me the nod. They left in a hurry. Looking at their actions, some sort of competition is going on here. This means my earlier conjecture is wrong. This realm is quite stable, but that doesn't make it any better for me, as here any specialist grade monster is a danger to me. The new I've read before coming into Green Hill said that there are approximately 5,000 people had disappeared, so I can find many other people who had accidentally entered this realm. I opened the map that girl named Nina had given me. This realm is a lot bigger than I thought. The map is expertly drawn, a map with all the details, and I can say that they had already scoured this realm and using it for training. Taking space realm is stable. I don't have to worry about its collapsing anymore, and now that I am free from that worry, I can relaxedly decide my next course of action. I've decided to walk by the outskirt of forest, which is less dangerous than the depth of the forest. It will take some time, but I will eventually find some people. I looked at the 24 bodies of ice wolves. They didn't even look at bodies after they killed it, so much wealth. I quickly started to take out their cores. These cores alone sell for 300 credits. Except for cores, I took out some meat and hearts of the corporal stage monster for eating. All these ice wolves' bodies worth more than million credit, but I can't take them with me. My heart pains seeing so many credits going waste. I started to walk the outskirt of the forest. I still didn't dare to enter inside, fearing I've come across any specialist grade monster. I've enough water for now, but I have to remove it from the trees later. It feels good to walk in the shadow to trees, feeling light breeze of air, but all can change in a minute if any monster spotted me. It's only been 2 hours since I started walking by outskirts of the forest, but I have already come across more than 10 private grade monsters. I'm barely able to avoid their notice, but one time I've caught by the group of hundred-some scarlet crows, and they all were at specialist grade. I had got so scared seeing them and was about fight them when luckily Ashlyn noticed hollowed tree trunk inside the bushes. I quickly hide inside it, although I had to stay inside cramped space for a half an hour and the monster was still searching for me above. That was a hell of an experience. I would have surely died if not for a timely finding hiding spot. It's like every minute I am walking on the tightrope of life and death. If a strong monster notices me, then it will be my death. It is a good thing that this realm's limit is corporal grade, otherwise, it would have been many times dangerous. Cry. I heard faint cry from the sky. Without looking up, I scrambled to find a hiding spot. Seeing no notable spot except for the tree, I crouched down at the base of the tree, making myself small as possible. I pray that whatever is coming didn't notice. Craning my neck a little, I looked at the sky. Most of my view is obstructed, but I can still see between the cries. The cries of birds getting louder and louder. I am sure that monsters will fly above me within a second. HNN comes out of my mouth when I saw that 3 yellow birds big as me flew above, and right behind them are the group of hundred-something scarlet crows. I am sure I saw a human silhouette on the birds, and these crows were probably the same crows as that come after just earlier. Sighing, I picked my backpack and started to walk. Finding more people is utmost important. This is the only way of returning home. After walking for an hour, I come across battle scene. There is a signs of battle all over it, especially swords marks on the trees and specialist grade monster's carcass. Looking at small destruction it caused around it, both monster and human, probably at specialist grade, and these signs of battle looked quite fresh, only a few hours old. Chapter 71 Trail. I quietly follow the marks left behind. The person is definitely got injured or injured while fighting the monsters, otherwise he wouldn't have left such visible trail. He or she probably hiding in a secure spot while healing their wound. As I walk ahead it is getting difficult to detect the trail. He would have recovered enough to hide his trail from the monster, but I could see the faint tresses of through my armature eyes. I did not have much experience in following the trail, but I read about it in details and many times put into use while hunting. Ever since I entered this realm, my refinement had been going very well. I am pretty sure my mana purity would reach 75%, seeing how concentrated this world mana is, and also because of meat of corporal grade monster I am carrying in my backpack. My stomach growled as I thought of food. I haven't eaten anything since morning and there are only 2 hours till evening. I can't eat anything despite me and Ashlyn feeling hungry. There are many dangerous monsters are here and I can't relax for any second, even for eating. Slice. I killed the monster. It is mid-stage private grade monster. It tried to sneak attack me but I killed it. I have killed many of these monsters as I come across them. I only hide from those who are harder to kill or those I can't kill. As I follow the trail, I've come across the small hills and trail just disappeared. There are no signs of broken twigs and crushed. It's like a sign suddenly gone. There are 2 ways that could happen. One is either he flew away self or with his monster, or he is hiding nearby. I'll think it's former. If he had an ability to fly he would have flown away earlier, not walk all the way here. That means he is hiding nearby. I would have shouted if not for fearing the monsters will hear it. I look carefully around me. He may be hiding beside me. This is full of dried shrubs and vines. I sigh in defeat as I failed to find the person. I am back toward the place which I noticed when I was following the trail earlier. It looks quite safe to spend the night. I am just walking past the hill when something caught my eye. In the dried vines on the left side of the small hill looked little peculiar than rest. I activated my sword and walked toward it cautiously. When getting near enough, I moved the vines with my sword. I am right, I said. Behind the vines is a small cave entrance. The vine is narrow enough that only person at a time could walk it. My guess was right. The vines around the cave entrance are too dense, as it was clearly a man's work. No monster could do this perfect. Keep a close eye behind Ashlyn. I said to Ashlyn as she is resting on my shoulder. Choo choo, she chirped in affirmation. I light small fireball in my palm while keeping sword activated in other for unseen circumstances. I noticed some human footprints as I walk into the cave and they looked fresh. Earlier I was only 70% sure, but now I am 100% sure that there's someone inside the cave. I walk for 5 minutes before I reach the end of it, but there is a problem. Its entrance is blocked by a giant rock. Dumb hub. Hello. Is someone inside? I said as I knocked on the rock with the grip of my sword. I could have cut down the rock with my sword but will be disrespectful to whoever inside. Who are you? A voice from behind the rock. It's the female voice and sound young. From her voice she seems around my age. I am Michael from West Blood City, I said. I deliberately said West Blood City. Whoever is inside is from Westbound City. I think that because seeing prowess of those who from the central continent, they wouldn't need to hide in the cave, even if she were alone, at least in the outskin. Growling the big stone stars to slide, I thought I would see them, but I saw the monster sliding the rock. It is a stone panda. It looked little roughed up. It must have fought some battle recently. The stone panda looks like it made of gray and brown rock and are a class 3 strain monster. It is a common monster and usually is a little expensive than a common monster because of its cuteness. This one looked about 1 meter tall. Stone panda monster usually grew up to 2.5 meters. They usually gave their partner higher defense and strength, and some luckily partners get stone skin. My one classmate also has bonded with the stone panda, but his was arm size and looked cuter than one front of me. Seeing enough space had made, I entered inside the cave, but when I saw Monster's partner, I got shocked. You. I and she said in unison. I know her. She lives in the same building as me and she is the first girl I talked to in my apartment building. Her condition did not look good. She looked quite injured and using her clothes as bandages, which made her look bloody and half naked. The only things that are good shape are her artifacts. I even saw monster material beside a makeshift bag which made out of her clothes. I didn't see her backpack or any emergency bag. She must have lost it some way. She tried to activate her armor to cover her body but failed to do so. Her looked injuries quite worse than I expected. Here. I said and quickly removed healing potion from my pocket and gave her. I felt little pinch giving as I only had 3. 1 medium grade 1 healing potion and 2 low grade 1 healing potion. I just gave her medium grade 1, which is mostly used by specialist grade. Thank you. She did not reject it and took with her feeble hands. She opened a bottle and drank it and lost conscious within second. Growl. The panda monster quickly comes to the front of its partner and growled at me as a warning. Seeing its warning, I backed down a little. She is probably too tired and injured to stay awake. She will wake up when her injuries healed a little. Chapter 72 Rhea. I smile seeing Panda threateningly stand in front of her partner defending her. From the monster action I can see that their bond is very strong. I didn't take a good look at the cave ever since I entered. It is quite big, its area about 400 feet in oval shape. There is a small stream of underground water flowing through the cave and the cave had a natural source of light from the crystal above the cave. This cave is perfect for one life if one smoothed out the jagged floor of the cave. Seeing she wouldn't wake for at least 1 hour. I put my backpack down and laid out the camp after finding a smooth surface. I have been feeling sweaty since yesterday since the cave had a stream of fresh water. I should enjoy well and take a bath. There is small, all-natural partition of rock by the stream which good for privacy. As I come out of the stream, feeling fresh, I felt the sharp gaze on me. I smiled seeing little monster taking its job seriously. Choo choo. Ashlyn chirped saying she is feeling hungry and make food for quickly. Okay. I'll make now. I am also feeling very hungry seeing today we only ate at once and that is at early morning. I brought out cooking utensils and cooking material out camp and started preparing food. I enlarged the pan to large size seeing I am making food for 4 people. I only took monster parts of corporal stage monster and I am really excited to taste the meat of the corporal grade monster, but I am taking caution cooking it. I am only using a few pieces of heart while rest is normal meat of corporal grade monster. I've read many times that people got fatally injured and died by eating high energy food. I felt the gaze of two monsters staring at the pan hungrily as I am cooking. When I looked at the panda monster, I even saw saliva dripping from its mouth. The food has started to smell really good. Even I felt ravenous as I see meat in the pan. This will be my first time tasting the meat of corporal grade monster. I noticed the movement behind my back. When I looked up, I saw she had woken up. Some color comes back on her skin as she looked much better than earlier. How are you feeling? I asked while stirring the pan. Much better, thank you for the potion, she said. It's nothing, I replied, and we stayed silent for a while in a quiet, comfortable environment. When did you enter this realm? How come you were so injured? I asked. I saw the carcasses of monsters she fought earlier, and seeing she is at the peak of specialist grade, I don't think the monster she fought earlier can injure her this much. I have seen her fight many times in the training facility, and she has easily beaten those at the same level as her. Those two monsters can't injure her this much. Despite being stronger than the normal monsters, she must have been injured by some other monster earlier. She took a big sigh before answering my question. I had taken the mission of information collection from Adventures Guild yesterday morning because the reward was high. I walking toward Green Hills from near town when I suddenly find myself a completely different place. She said. Not even 5 minutes in this realm, I was attacked by a corporal level monster. If it was normal initial level monster, I would kill it or at least would have fatally injured it, but that monster way too strong for me to even injure. She shuddered as said this. I can totally understand her sentiment. In the back home, I could easily kill peak private stage monster with one swing, but here, it took me more than 1 hour to kill it, and there is no question about specialist stage monster. I have hidden and changed my way many times after seeing the specialist stage monsters. I've come across many corporal grade monsters on the way here while running from I kept eating injured. I've had many healing potions with, but they all used in healing my injuries. I even lost my backpack while running from monsters. She said. Did you met any people from West Blood or Central Continent? I asked, her face saddened as she heard my question. I did not see any people from West Blood, but I've seen many bodies on my way. I even recognized one boy. He used to live in our building, she replied. Not many people were lucky as is. I can consider myself lucky one as I entered the wasteland, not the forest. As if remembering something, she asked me about me. What are people from Central Continent, you just mentioned? She asked. I told her what occurred in the morning today, to spotting them and watching them killing corporal level monsters with ease. She had shocked expression on her face when heard this. She couldn't come to her senses for a while. Are you telling the truth? She asked in a serious voice, her voice clearly stating that she had a hard time believing this. All I said the truth. The meat that I cooking now is from the corporal level monster that they had killed, I said, and cut fire as dinner is ready. I have an extra battle suit in the back, I can give you if you want. I said after looking her tattered suit. I always keep 2 extra battle suit whenever I go to hunting, and this time I was out of 2 to 3 days, and for that I pack extra 1, making them 3. Okay, she said after some thinking. I quickly took out a battle suit from my backpack. These battle suits are specially made for outdoor training, so take half of the space of normal battle suit. I am Ria, by the way. She introduces herself as I giving her my battle suit. Michael, I said as I gave her my battle suit. She walked toward the water stream to bath. She did not go alone, her monster also walks behind to protect her from prying eyes. The whole body is laced with dried blood. She must have been feeling terrible, feeling all blood and sweat dried around her body. Chapter 73. Leaving the cave. Choo-choo. Ashlyn protested as I served her portion smaller than she usually eats. It's corporal grade monster's meat, Ashlyn, you will not able to eat it fully, I said. Choo-choo, she chirps in protest again, saying she doesn't care, she will eat a regular portion that she eats daily. You glutton. First, you finish this plate, and if you still feel hungry after eating it, I will give you more. I said exasperatedly. Choo-choo-choo, she chirped again, asking why are they getting bigger portion than her. Because they are at specialist grade. When you evolve in specialist grade, you will also get more food, I said. Chuckle. I heard a chuckle from behind, it Ria, who came out after taking a bath. She looked very beautiful with black eyes and hair and had a certain charm about her that attracts people to her. All her outer injuries mostly healed, just marks are remaining, they will be healed by the next morning. She must have listened to our conversation from behind. I just smiled awkwardly at her, seeing getting a laugh out of her banter. Come sit. Dinner is ready, I said as I gave them their plates. Just as I was giving them plates, Ria's panda monster took the plate with such nimbleness that I hadn't thought possible with such size. It took a plate from my hand, started to eat speedily. Its speed is comparable to Ashlyn. Ha ha ha, we both started to laugh seeing it eating like, Dee eat slowly, food is not going anywhere, Ria advises to her monster, but it didn't listen. I got a little surprised knowing this panda is female. I thought it was male all along. When I looked beside me, I saw Ashlyn already finished eating and laid on her stomach with her eyes closed. It is an old habit of her, whenever she overeats she did sleep in this position. After I finished eating, I walked toward my tent, pressed a button top of it. It started to grow bigger. It changes in toe size. One is fit to sleep for 3 people while other for 5. You can sleep in a tent, there is enough space for 2 people? I said. She had lost her backpack, with it she lost her tent cloths, everything. She nodded without saying anything. They both had finished eating and I am just about to take plates for cleaning. At least let me clean the dishes, I feel like useless taking all these favors from you, she said while taking the plates from my hand, and I nodded and left with dishes. I started to study the map sitting beside Ashlyn. This realm is bigger than I expected. It has 2 small forests and 1 mountain range. I am going to sleep, Ria said. I nodded toward her. She obviously hadn't slept since yesterday, and the past 2 days had been constant life and death struggle. If I had been her place I would have succumbed to sleep already. As I am studying the map, I started to feel little hot at first. I thought I am just sweating due to little humidity which had in a cave, but soon temperature have started to increase and my body started to sweat profusely and my skin started to turn red. Fuck, I said and quickly checked on the Ashlyn. This little glutton looks fine except in sleep with her stomach down. I heaved a sigh of relief seeing she is fine. I quickly smoothed the cave floor with my sword and started to perform positions I learned in advanced combat class, simultaneously operating my refinement engine at full speed while circulating the 10th move of exercise and trying toward the 11th circle, and I even activated the grade 1 armor I am wearing, which I can't kept activated more than 2 hours. The reason for my body turning red is the meat of corporal stage monster that I ate earlier. I've eaten more than I could handle. Now that extra energy is trying to find an outlet to come out. I have to use this energy quickly or results will be disastrous. Seeing my skin is still turning red, I started to perform those weird combat exercise more speedily. These weird moves have a specialty. They seem to zap energy from one's body, and slower you perform the less energy it will take and you will feel less fatigue, but currently I am trying to perform it fast as I could. I am also trying to operate refinement engine with all my might, to take and purify more mana. As I am circulating the 10th move of exercise while trying on 11th, I crashed into the 11th circulation. Although pain is unbearable, but dying like cooked meat is more frightening. I am performing that weird combat exercise as fast as I could, but all it did recess down, burning my body a little. If I stopped my body will turn in cooked shrimp within minutes. Times passes by soon. It's been an hour since my skin started to turn red, but there are no changes except for I am circulating 12th circle of exercise. I used turn tired after I performed that weird exercise for an hour, and I did slowly, but here I am performing it very fast, but I didn't feel a speck of tiredness. I feel like water tank which filled out of its limit and can burst out any second. I don't know when Ashlyn woke up, but she is sitting top to the tent and looking at me with her mirthful eyes. This glutton. She ate the same as me. No. She ate little more than me, but she looked absolutely fine. Nothing seemed wrong with her except for her little bloated stomach, which will turn normal after she digested all the food she ate. I sometimes really wonder, where did she put all the food that she ate? Her body is only a little bigger than my palm. As time passed by, redness of my skin stopped spreading, but that didn't lessen. If someone would look at me they will find my body red as a tomato. Not only my supreme combat exercise is advancing, but my refinement engine also purifying mana at a much higher rate. I broke past 13th and a 14th circle simultaneously, and because of that my performing weird exercise become even faster. The redness of my skin started to recede when I barged into the 15th cycle supreme combat exercise, and I performed weird exercises even faster. Within an hour all redness on my skin tone, but I suddenly felt very tired and suddenly just wanted to sleep on the floor of the cave. I control my urge sleep and walk upstream to wash my body of the sweat. I never sweated in my life this much as I sweated earlier when I felt like cooking. I got a little surprised when I checked the time. It took me more than 5 hours to let out extra energy from my body as it is midnight now. I have to be little careful eating corporal grade monster from on. I got out of the stream, wore my clothes, entered the camp to sleep. Rhea is sleeping soundly with complete guard down. If anyone had nefarious intentions, she could nothing than be a pig on butcher's blade. I fell asleep, and as soon as I laid on the floor when I woke up it's already morning, but Rhea is still sleeping soundlessly. Her injuries seem to have healed already, she will wake up soon. Flexing my sore muscles, which became sore after intense physical exertion of last night, I quickly freshen up and started to cook. The spices which were enough for me to last for the week will be finished in 3 days as if I continue with Rhea. How are feeling? I ask as when I head tent's flap opening. Very good, she said with a bright smile. I am leaving after eating, do you? I asked her, told my plan of finding a rescue team from West Blood or group of those who's accidentally entered this realm like us, so we could find the way out of this realm. I'll come with you. Can you show me the map? She asked. I will send it to your holowatch, I said, and sent her the map. We left the cave after planning the route. The cave is safe, but we can't stay here. We have to find a chance to return home, no matter how slim the chance is. Chapter 74. The Corpse. We greeted with bright sunlight after coming out of the cave. I have to shield my eyes for a while to let them adjust to the light. We will follow your plan of the searching outskirt of the forest. It is the very good and safe plan, she said. When I told her about my plan searching the only outskirt of the forest, she accepted without any objection. It will be very, with you here, I said. I really mean it when I said it. In the outskirt of the forest, there are only private and specialist grade monsters, and she is being at the peak of specialist grade. Very few specialist grades could harm her. Even if we come across corporal grade monster, I will have a minute chance of survival because of her. That is what I am most happy about. Ashlyn, don't eat unknown fruits, I admonished Ashlyn. This palm-sized chubby monster really glutton. This is her 3rd time today eating unknown things. She never listened to me, especially when it comes to food. It hadn't been more than 2 hours since she ate lunch and she is still eating hungrily. I heard many people got poisoned or dead by eating unknown in the forest, but I don't want something happen to her. There are no hospitals here, nor did I have anti-poison potions. She will be in quite a dire state if she is something poisonous. Choo-choo. She chirped in defiance and ate another berry while looking at me. Haha. This little birdie of yours is quite a glutton, said Rhea as she laughed seeing Ashlyn antics. Yeah, she loves to eat, I said. Even Rhea's panda monster, who is quite big, is not as glutton as Ashlyn, as stone pandas are known to be gluttonous. We talked as we were walking. I come to know many things about Rhea. She 1.5 years older than me and also come from a small town like me. I noticed some sadness as she talked about her hometown. I think she also misses it. She said that she reaches a peak of specialist grade 1 year ago and trying to level up corporal grade many times but failed. I felt sad hearing this because of my condition worse than her. Ashlyn is only had class 2 strain. Forget about the corporal grade, even leveling up to specialist grade will be difficult for me. The only solace I have that Ashlyn is mutated gray spark sparrow, and despite her being having class 2 strain, but being mutated will help level up quicker than her peers. As we were walking, we saw something that stopped us on our track. I didn't think we will discover the dead person before a live one. It looks too male from what left. It was already eaten by the monsters. All that left of the body was little flesh and broken bones. It was quite a gruesome scene to see. I shuddered to see this scene. I didn't think I will find dead before finding someone alive, especially at the outskirts. As long as one is little careful, one can stay alive at outskirt despite being at private grade. Either he must have not careful enough or has the bad luck to come across a powerful monster. Seeing the condition of armor he wearing, it is probably a corporal grade monster that had killed him, because only corporal grade monster could damage grade 1 artifact this much. Looking at core, it seems to be day old and was killed quite brutally, seeing broken and splintered bones here and there. Covering my clothes, I picked out shoes near the body. Thank God the shoes were not attached to the body or I wouldn't have moved even if they were grade 1 shoe type artifact. Seeing faint teeth marks on them, some monster must remove them to chew and left them here after having its fun. I stored them at my backpack. I currently can operate more than 2 grade 1 artifact. I will only able to activate them when I reach the specialist grade. When I looked at Rhea, I saw her rummaging the dusty backpack. The backpacks look fine except for some dirt on it. Throwing out useless things, she wore a backpack on her shoulders. Without wasting any time we left the scene silently after burning the body. If I was back in West Blood, I would have definitely buried the bodies, but here I don't have the luxury to do that. We didn't judge each other taking things from the dead body because we need them. Even if I didn't need it, I still would have taken it to sell it later. We walked in comfortable silence without talking, both of us not as mood talk after seeing the body. Seeing that body made me realize the cold hard reality of this realm. Being in outskirts doesn't mean you won't come across any corporal level monster. Every step has to be cautious, lest you get noticed by the dangerous monster. We change our course a little after seeing the body. We were little inside the forest when we were traveling, but now we were walking in the boundary of wasteland and forest for the safety. Ashlyn also controlled herself seeing our mood. She still flew away and ate unknown things, but this time she stayed within my vision range. Hours passed by. Soon it is afternoon, but we did not see the shadow of the person. We expected this. The area of this realm is very large, not seeing the single person normal, but still, I hoped that we will come across some person, but that didn't happen. Soon the past and next come, but that was also without any result. After dinner, Rhea and I studying the map. This small lake here, it is nearly outside of the forest. It is a best possible spot for any large group to gather. It has water and monsters they can hunt for food. Rhea said. What she said right, it is the closest spot where large people could gather. What you said right, but it would take us 4 to 5 days to reach there. I said. We discuss it some more before deciding to walk toward the small lake from tomorrow. Chapter 75 Sudden Level Up. After we finished eating, I packed the camp and started our journey towards the small lake. That is the perfect spot for any large group to stay as it is abundant in everything. The one good thing happened to me yesterday afternoon that my mana had reached 75% purity. After 65%, every increase in mana became very difficult. My mana purity reached this high only because I entered in this space realm. I am just happy that my mana purity had reached 75%. Those who have 75% mana purity are considered elite in the Republic because very few could make their mana this pure. I thought it would take me near week reach at least 1 week, but it happened in 3 days. But soon the scene of 3 private grade evolvers killing corporal level monsters appeared in my mind and I became sober from my happiness. In front of them, I am nothing. Any one of them can kill me with a single move, and seeing the power of their skills, I am sure their mana purity must be 90% or above. Rustle, we heard the rustle of leaves and soon pure white python appears in front of us. It is about 4 meters in length and wide enough that its mouth can easily bite my head off. I took a step back, as usual, sensing its aura, which is the peak of specialist grade like Rhea. While walking toward the monster, she activated her greatsword and also summoned her panda monster. Her greatsword is only 1 meter in length, but it is wide my palm. I got quite startled when I saw her weapon of choice. Girls normally used swords and knives and very used other weapons. It is a perfect weapon for her as she had no specific power except for enhancement in defense and strength. She and her panda monster both attacked the white python same time. It got little startled first but did both attacks smooths. In the past 2 days, we come across many monsters. Private grade will be handled by me and specialist grade by Rhea. This white python is unusually fast. I am not worried though. I know Rhea is much stronger than she is showing. The python craftily tried to spray poison on her, but Rhea countered it with her broad sword expertly as there was no way to dodge. Bam! Python monster hit panda's paw. Python had overlooked the panda looking at its slowness, but this panda nimbly sneaks beside it and attacked with the paw. The snake had controlled itself mid-air and dodged Rhea's sword, which was coming from the behind. As the battle raged on, Python got hit many times but did not get seriously injured. It's been only 15 minutes scene fight had and would be over in 10 minutes. She has been holding back till now to find if this monster has hidden ability. Once she is sure that monster had used all its ability, she will attack it with her full might. And I got quite surprised seeing when that white python had suddenly increased its speed and attacked Rhea. She was startled but she barely able to survive that blow, really. One can't judge this realm's monsters too early. Rhea and White Snake begin to fight in earnest while Stone Panda stood in a side alone waiting for a chance to attack. I put up a little more distance fight and myself, I didn't want to repeat yesterday's mistake. Yesterday when Rhea and Specialist Stage Monster was fighting, that monster suddenly attacked me, although I had put distance between me and fight it was not enough. Seeing I was easy to target, it attacked me. I would have died or at least got have fatally injured if not for Stone Panda saving me at last moment. It has been nearly half an hour Rhea started fighting the white python. It is longest fight had fought Rhea in front of me. Usually, she killed monster within 20 minutes but it got over 30 minutes. I used to think of myself as talented when I created the first seal of supreme combat technique and I was 9 heavens when I compared myself with Sarah and Jim, who are the same age as but had an organization backing them. But I got herd reality checks in this world, first by those 3 from the central continent who could easily skip the 2 grade of combat power and then with Rhea who at least created 4 seals supreme combat exercise. Although she did not tell specifically how many seals she had created I can guess by her fighting prowess and that's not the most shocking thing, she told many people of the same age as she created more seals than her especially those from the organization. She even told me one interesting secret that she come to know by accident. She said no one can seem to create the 10th seal before age of 20, no matter how much they try. That is why she became so shocked when I told her private grade evolver skipping 2 grades and probability of them creating more than 10 seals. I sometimes feel ashamed seeing Rhea killing all the powerful monsters and I promise myself that I will use every chance to become a stronger, no matter how dangerous that is. Thud, Rhea's sword decapitated monster while I was lost in my thinking. She uses quite a crafty plan to kill that snake. Sneakily her Stone Panda had gripped the python's tail, making it immovable for a moment and used this chance to kill the snake in one move. It is quite an efficient kill. She quickly removes the core from the monster and we walk after lighting a fire to the monster's core. As we were walking Ashlyn swiftly flew away from my shoulder on the tree front of us after seeing wild fruit on the tree. She quickly swipes the fruit off the tree with quick precision and started to eat with relish. I didn't say anything seeing she wouldn't listen to me, no matter how many times I told her not to eat any unknown fruit. But as we were walking I suddenly stopped on my track as I felt something with my bond with Ashlyn. What happened? Rhea asked vigilantly while looking around. I didn't answer her as Ashlyn suddenly went inside me. My mana begins to drain at the quick speed as she went inside. I turned extremely happy seeing this because I know what is happening. I am leveling up. Chapter 76 Miracle Free. She is leveling up, means I am leveling up. Soon mana inside my body started to drain. I quickly put down my backpack and removed the fist-size portion meat from the heart of corporal grade monster. If it were normal level up this portion would have been too much but it is level up between grades, so it will be fine. I would have drank mana potions but that would have been such waste of mana potions as they are better used during emergencies. I quickly cooked it with my strongest fire for a few seconds and then ate it without wasting any second. Rhea started to understand what is happening after seeing Michael eating the heart of the corporal level monster. Michael is quite surprised by sudden leveling up of Ashlyn but he didn't think much as sometimes unexpected leveling up did happen. I started to operate refinement engine at full speed to provide much needed mana for the level up. The changes started to occur all over my body giving me enhancement in all aspect from physical to magical. Not only that my runes on my refinement engine also started to brighten and soon my refinement engine started to expand. This goes for half an hour and I and Ashlyn leveled up to specialist grade when the seal of supreme combat exercise began to throb rapidly and started sucking all the limited mana I have in my body at abnormal speed, so fast that I started to feel pain in my body. Without cooking, I started to take bites out of the heart of corporal level monster. It tasted awful but I still ate it. The seal started to suck more and more energy out of me and to provide enough energy, I have to keep taking bites of the heart of the corporal monster. The throb of the seals only stopped when I ate 1/4 of heart. I felt relieved as it stopped sucking my mana, but then seal brightened and it started to transfer its energy toward the certain source. I got startled realizing that source is Ashlyn, and after my careful probing I noticed that the seal is copying itself on Ashlyn. The seal had to start to form on Ashlyn's body. I didn't know that monster can have seals of supreme combat exercise. I have to conform with Rhea later. If the seal fully copied into the body of Ashlyn, then her physique would enhance greatly. As monster her defense would be better than mine. I can feel Ashlyn ID feeling very good as the seal is forming in her body. I can understand the feeling. I felt it too when the seal is forming in my body. The forming of seal going on for 10 minutes before stopping. Choo-choo. Ashlyn comes out of me and flew high in the air. Only after a few seconds later did she come down and I got the good look at her. Apart from growing few centimeters and her feathers becoming more vibrant than before, there are no changes in her. Choo-choo-choo. Ashlyn said something that made startled, but I soon controlled my emotions. Did Supreme Combat exercise seals imprinted on our monster during level up? I asked Rhea, in order to divert my mind from the thing that Ashlyn told me. When Ashlyn parents leveled up, they grew 3 times that normal size, but she stayed near the same. Yes, they do, but the only level up between grades, not level up between normal levels. She said. I nodded in understanding and take out the grade 1 shoes that I found near the dead body yesterday. I had already cleaned them well yesterday. Now that level up to specialist grade, I can wear them without further ado. I want to test my power so badly, but here not the place. Many powerful monsters are lurking here. Without wasting time we resumed our journey. I took a sneak peek at Rhea as we walking, but she seemed normal. I am still quite shocked by the thing Ashlyn told me after leveling up. She said when she was on shoulder earlier, she smelled the wonderful fragrance from fruit and she ate that wonderful fruit with relish, but when she was about to fly away from that tree, she started to feel hot suddenly and feeling of leveling up came soon after. After being shocked for a while, I reasonably thought it through and found there is only one reasonable explanation to had. Miracle fruit. She definitely ate the miracle fruit. They are known as miracle fruit because they have miraculous abilities. Some may help and level up like the one Ashlyn did, some may enhance physical abilities and power one have. I even read some miracle fruit that can even grant power. I thought all that is faux, but after seeing the effects of miracle fruits. They are extremely hard to find and recognize like the one Ashlyn ate. It looked like any other normal fruit. They say only some monster had some innate talent to recognize them. Wait. Didn't she said she smelled a wonderful fragrance from the fruit? She may have the talent to find miracle fruit. I will ask her later when we are alone. I become so happy that I couldn't contain myself. Rhea even frowned, seeing me but she thought it was because I leveled up. Suddenly I came to myself. Miracle fruits aren't the normal fruits which were lying around waiting for Ashlyn to smell them. The miracle fruit may well be the only miracle fruit in this realm. But still, talent to detect fruit has immense value. Whenever Ashlyn near any miracle fruit, she will be able to smell it. Chapter 77 A Job Offer. 2 more days passed by and we were only 2 to 3 days away from the small lake. Angra flower. Rhea exclaimed and cautiously cut the flower off the tree with expert precision. Rhea has extensive knowledge of herbs and ores and she been able to identify them and pick them easily. She said when she was deep in the forest, she spotted precious ores and herbs everywhere but was in no condition to take them. She must have picked tens of herbs till now. I don't know much about it as I never extensively read about them. I only had read about them a little when I left my building for the Green Heel, as many people were finding precious herbs or ores here. Although I may have not picked as much as Rhea, I still found few ingots of ores that worth quite a credits. We didn't put every precious ore into our backpack lest it makes our backpack heavy. We only took a minimum and only precious. Rhea even threw away some of the ores she had picked earlier because it is making her backpack heavy. If she was hunting in West Blood, she never would have done that. She would have easily taken 10 times more ores she has now, but here is different. The danger is everywhere in this realm. It's been 6 days since I entered this realm, but I didn't see anyone except for Rhea and that dead body from the West Blood. It's been 2 days since I leveled up, but I hadn't had a chance to test my powers fully. Now I can kill private grade with the swing of my sword, but all the specialist grade monsters that I had come across these days are at peak and I am no match for them. I feel quite bored sometimes when we just walk and walk but no monster come across us. I know it's a good thing, lesser the monster we encounter the quicker we will reach our destination. We suddenly stopped on track when we heard the big rustling come toward us. We quickly activated our weapons hearing the sound. From the sound of rustle, I can say there are more than 3 monsters coming toward. Just as we attacked to caught the monsters off guard but stopped on time because we noticed something peculiar. It was human silhouettes. Soon they come out one by one. There's 6 of them in 2 groups, 3 boys and 3 girls. They are definitely the same as the group I met earlier. 6 of them looked 14, 15 years old and are at private grade. I am sure they are from the central continent as well. See, didn't tell you I sense people coming toward us, but you wouldn't believe me, said the boy complacently at the girl. He had blue hair and blue eyes and looked quite handsome. Stop bragging your sensing ability, Aaron, said the beautiful girl with hair black as night. We just stayed silent, listening to their conversation. This boy and girl seemed to leaders of their team. The boy wanted to say something but he stopped and looked toward us smilingly. My dear friends from the outer continent, I am Sean and this is Carol. Sean introduced himself. We like to offer a job to you? And you won't be disappointed in our payment, he said. He sound businessman in those old movies. We both became vigilant after hearing him, although I didn't sense any bad intention from still we better be careful. And saying outer continent means he knows we come from a different place than him. What job? I asked vigilantly. All of them had the power to fight with the corporal level monster, and if they are requesting our help, then it is really dangerous. It is very dangerous and chances of you getting injured or maybe dead are high, but if you are successful, what we will pay will be a fortune to you, he said. I got little startled hearing his utterly honest offer. Most of the people will say no to such job, but he said he will pay a fortune. He is saying that what he will pay us a fortune to us but not to him. What is the job? Ria asked. Although it may be very and we may not do it, but it doesn't hurt to as. There is underground cave 1 hour from here. It is the cave of grade 3 sandworm monsters, he said. I also heard this grade 3 term from the other team from the central continent. It probably means corporal grade. There are about some 15, 16 monsters are there and 5 or 6 grade 3 monsters while rest is grade 2. What you two have to throw the thing inside that we gave you. He continued while we silently while keeping our expression straight. After that, you just have to run, we will handle the rest what comes after, he said so nonchalantly like selling candy. Ria and I may look expressionless but we are shocked inside. They are really asking us to risk our lives, although he said before that there is a threat to our life by still. Why aren't you doing this? I asked. Instead of getting angry at my question he smiled. We would have done it but it would take a lot of our time and energy. Like I said, you just have thrown the things we gave and run and we will handle the rest. I was about to reject them but Ria asked the question. What we will get if we do this? Ria asked. I got little startled when she asked this question. I didn't think she will be interested in a life-threatening job. Our seniors had hidden 2 pouches inside that cave. We only need badge inside the pouches and rest it will be yours, he said. What's in the pouches? I can't stop asking myself. Beside the badge, it will have at least 1 night grade artifact and skill and of course the space pouch which containing them if you are lucky. You may get potions and mana stones also, he said with still that slight smile on his face. Night grade? Ria asked. I also wanted to ask this question. It is the first time I've heard it. Night grade refers to 12 basic grades. Night grade skills and artifacts can be used by all 12 basic stages, he patiently explained to us. I am really feeling conflicted right now. I would have definitely rejected it before mentioning payment, but now that he mentioned it, I am really doing it. I'll do it, Ria said before I could answer. I can understand her choice, they are paying a lot. Fuck it. I'll do it too. I said fortune comes with a risk. I can't always cling to my life, I have to take certain risks to progress. Let's get going then. Time is precious. he said, and we followed the 6 of them as we ran. Chapter 78 Strike to the Skull. Thank you, all my readers, for the love and support you have given to our novel, as today our novel had hit the 1M readers. AW. Bang bang. I heard loud noises behind me. When I looked back I saw Sean and his teammates are attacking monsters. I can't see clearly how many monsters died, but they keep coming out of caves as there has been a large cloud of dust at the entrance, but Sean and friend keep attacking and drinking a mana potion. I could hear faint sounds from afar, Carol and her team also fighting the monsters like Sean. Grrrr. Grr. Bang bang bang, loud cries of monster and attacks from the show's team is grating my ears. Soon smoke cleared and I can see 4 bodies were lying in the ground, but 3 giant earthworm monsters were moving towards Sean and his 2 teammates. From their size and aura, they are definitely corporal stage monster, but Sean did not seem flustered seeing them and attacked them at his own will. Although those 3 monsters looked fatally injured, they are not, and only their outer defense is broken. They started to fight in wild abandon. Seeing the fight, I shook internally. It did not look to fight between private grade and corporal grade, but corporal grade Versace corporal grade. The fight is going for half an hour, but there is no clear winner on the surface, but I can tell that those 3 corporal level monsters not going to survive more than half an hour. The fight would have finished in the first 20 minutes if not for monsters' ability to burrow into the ground from time to time. I started to feel faint vibration under my feet, but I didn't think much, assuming they were just the vibration created by the fight, but I was so wrong. Bang. Grr. An earthworm monster comes out ground not far from me and started to cry out in its grating voice. It stalled for a while as if sensed the environment, and then suddenly it comes toward me, making that uncomfortable notice. It is small compared to monsters that Sean and team fighting, but it could still eat me whole easily. I thought of running, but there is no use as this is mid-level specialist grade monster. In the cave I successfully able to run away from corporal grade monster because space was narrow and it wasn't able to chase me at its full speed, but here is different. I activated my sword, armor, and shoes while still circulating the 20th move of exercise. I know, I am not its match right now, but I just have stalled it for a while as Sean finished his fight and saved me. Fuck. I hit myself hard, feeling ashamed, since when I became such loser that I want others to save me, and especially from those who are lower grade than me. Ah. I screamed loud and run toward the monster to attack it. No matter how powerful this monster is, if not kill it, I will at least injure it for my pride. I run toward it with all my speed. By making a momentum, I wanted to make my strongest attack. These shoes are really amazing. My speed had increased nearly 2 times. These shoes are best to make an instant movement. Clank, my sword hit it, cracking the earth layer off its skin and even drawing out its blood. Grr, it roared and tried to eat me with its mouth, but using the counter force of my sword, I dodge its the mouth. Seeing it's coming toward me with its mouth opened, seeing its speed, I don't have any option but meet it with my sword. Clank. Thud thud thud. As I attacked it with my sword, I felt a shock ran through my body and I have to take a few steps back. I even received some internal injuries due to shock, but I don't have time to dwell on it as it is coming toward me. Clank clank clank. I kept defending against its an attack. If this keeps going, my internal injuries definitely will worsen. I can't do anything except for defense and of course, try to circulate advanced moves of exercise, but harder as I already feeling immense pain. Now I truly understand the necessity of skills. I had thought as long as I am able to circulate more moves of exercise it will be, but it is not. Supreme combat exercise best used to make the body stronger by creating more seals, but it can't give you instantaneous and lethal power, only skills give that. I am really regretting not accepting Jim's offer. Half a month ago Jim suddenly asked if I had any half skill. When I said no, he wanted to give me one, saying he had many. I declined to say I had no need for skills as I had supreme combat exercise and that is enough, but I am so wrong, I know that now. Clang. I felt a little less shock this time as I successfully circulated the 21st move. Still, it not enough. Not enough. I roared inside and started madly attacking it, although I barely able injure, but it gives me some release from feeling repressed past few weeks. Clank clank clank. Thud thud thud. Pooh. I vomited the blood as my internal organs shook. Even receiving injuries, I didn't stop madly attacking while still circulating exercise. This madness started to pay off. My attacks become lethal as the circulation of exercise reached the 23rd circle, only one move 24th. Grrrrrr, we both engulf in madness. The monster was already quite mad of inhaling the gas from glass ball and now gaining small injuries from my relentless attacks. It moved its mouth toward head without caring for consequence, but I defended it from while taking a few steps back. Gotcha. Fuck. I shouted as my shouted dislocated by the attack. I quickly adjusted it back to its place without wasting any time and attacked it again. I may look mad who fighting without his life, but that is not, there is a method in my madness. Even since I attacking it, 5 out of 3 of my attacks were concentrated on a single spot on its head. I already removed the defensive layer of it with my attack and I only need to make attack accurately to finish it off, but there is a problem. I didn't think my attacks are powerful enough to pierce its skull. I think only after circulating 24th move of supreme combat exercise, and that's what I trying to achieve through my madness. Crack, another one of my bone cracked, this times it's my hips, but I did not and keep attacking. Yes. I shouted through my gritted teeth as I succeeded in circulating 24th move of supreme combat exercise. Bam. Crack. Another some of my bones crack. In my happiness of circulating 24th move of exercise, I get distracted and got. Wiping my bloodied mouth, I quickly get up. This is a blessing and the curse, monster, and I have enough space between us that I could probably jump over its head. Ah, shouting with all my heart, I ran towards it with heart. Grr. It shouted seeing me running toward it when there is only 3 meters distance between us. I jumped. If I weren't wearing grade 1 shoes, making this jump would have been quite hard, but it is quite effortless. Grrrrrr. I opened its mouth seeing me jump toward. I will definitely end up as its food, but I smiled seeing the monster acting as I predicted. As I was only 1 meter away from it, I did flip in the air with the aid of my grade 1 shoe artifact. Poochie. I pieced the blade into the skull of the monster as I directly above it and left the sword in its skull. Grrrrrr growling. Thud. I heard its mournful cry as I landed on the ground with a thud. Growling, it cried out at pain loudly, but soon its cries started to slow down and it fell on the earth motionless. I removed the bottle healing potion from my pocket and drank it and let go of everything. I powerlessly fell on the ground as I watched the dead monster body. I didn't even want to take out my sword from the monster as I am feeling pain due countless broken bones in my body. Chapter 79 Paymen. Sitting on the ground, I watch the fight which is happening in front of me. Of the 3 corporal level monsters, 1 has fallen while Sean and his teammates fighting the remaining 2. The fight should be over within an hour, the only reason it taking so long because of the defense of the monsters. Earthworm monsters have thick layer earth covering their body. It is quite harder breach, especially corporal level earthworm which defense layer has metallic texture in on it, which makes it even harder to penetrate. But I can see many injuries on the bodies of monsters. They should not be able to last more than an hour. It's good thing for me though, an hour rest would be enough for me to walk normally again. Seeing many amazing skills that Sean and his teammates are using, I also want to see if I will get any skills in my payment. If I had such skill that Sean is attacking with, I would have finished my fight 1/4 of the original time. As I watched the Sean fight, I learned many things, especially on how to fight. Their way of fighting is really precise and efficient, not a single moment is wasteful, every flick of their finger to thump of their foot for the purpose. The one thing startle me as much as skipping of the grade is their teamwork. It's flawless. They rarely talk in the fight, but each other seem to know what other going do and they act according to it. If I could implement any of the good points in my fighting, it will be very helpful to me. Sometime later they killed another monster leaving behind only 1. Seeing the fight is going to over soon, I walked toward them but not before taking out the core from the monster that I just killed. I stopped walking after I reached a certain distance from the fight and wait for it finishes it. I don't want to become a casualty of my recklessness. Bang, 3 of them released different skills but they had merged seamlessly and attacked the monster. Thud, this was the attack that broke the last lifeline of monster and it fell into the ground with a thud. 3 of them had rested on the ground while taking out a potion from their pocket. Sean just gave me tired smile but didn't talk. Looks like this fight had taken too much out of them. I am very happy seeing that. I didn't have to immediately go into the cave immediately as I wanted to remove the core of the monster. If it were other monsters, I would have removed the herd from the corporal level monster, but looking at their horrible faces, I didn't want to do it. If as West Blood I would have taken their heart to sell, but here I only took the heart of monster to eat, and I don't want to eat the heart of these horrible looking monsters. I quickly removed the core of 8 monsters, including the monster that I killed earlier. I got a total of 9 monster cores today. 6 specialist grade and 3 corporal grade. When I taking out the core, I didn't see any ridicule or satire in Sean's eyes, but I did see in his teammates' eyes. I didn't mind that looks least a bit. Compared to this much money, there looks nothing to me. Let's go. Carol may be already waiting for us, he said after resting for 15 minutes. All 4 of us follow behind Sean. This time his speed not that fast and I could easily follow behind him. On the way to the monster's cave, I've asked many questions to Sean. Some he answered while on, some he just smiled without saying anything, but all the questions Sean answered me will be very helpful to me in my future practice. A half an hour later we reached the place from which I threw the glass balls, but we didn't stop there and kept going. Only when we reached the intersection of 2 caves did we stop, as we found Carol standing there with 3 girls. What took you so long? Carol asked. There was 3 grade 3 monster on our part. Sean replied with his usual smile on his face. Now that you arrived, we should head inside, said Carol, and we walked towards the last cave. Rhea and I walked behind 6 people. She seemed little roughed up, looks like she also fought with the monsters. Cave, where monster resides, is extremely big and it didn't seem to smell foul, which is expected. Sarah and Sean had lightened the light stone to the limit, which made the whole cave bright as a day. The cave looked mostly empty, except for some monster shit and few rock and stones here and there. Sean and Sarah walked toward the corner of the cave and picked up 2 color palm-sized leather pouches which seemed to have runes drawn all over them. My heart beating fast as Sean and Sarah picked pouches and removed the fist-sized black badge from it. Not only me, even Rhea can't seem to control her face and emotion seeing those pouched. I can feel the satirical gazes but didn't mind. My breath starts to quicken as Sean and Carol come towards us. Sean had again removed something from them, this time half fist-sized disc. Seeing him doing, Carol also did that. Sean took the disc off the Carol hand and seemed to read it. 2 low-level night grade skills, Blazing Strikes, and Mirabelle's Dance. These are a quite good low-level skill, he said, looking toward us. Blazing Strikes? Mirabelle's Dance? This is my first time hearing these skills' name, and Rhea also seems to be clueless about it. Seeing our clueless faces, Sean explained to us. Blazing Strikes is fire manipulation skill and Mirabelle's Dance is speed-related skill, Sean explained in the short term. Which one do you want? He asked as he looks at us. There is no question about which skill I want. Ashlyn and I share fire ability. Of course, I will select fire-related ability. I will take Mirabelle's Dance, Rhea answered before me. I will take Blazing Strikes, I also said after Rhea. Sean nodded, seeing our choices. Give me your holowatch, he said. I got confused, but I moved my hand toward him. He did something with a rectangular disc. Beep. A notification sounded on my holowatch, their folder named Blazing Layers, but when I tried to open it, it reminded code. When L looked, shown in confusion, OSC *3H. He said extra long code, which I typed after him. Soon the folder opened. He repeated the same process to Rhea. Here, take this, he said, and handed me and Rhea the pouches. We had already wasted enough time in this cave, we should get going, he said to Carol, nodding. Both Carol and his team started to leave, but he suddenly stopped. I'll give advice, don't use mana crystal for practice, it does more harm than good. Use it only when you get past 12 basic stages. Saying this, he left with his teammates. Chapter 80 Fortune. I got little startled by Sean's advice. I had thought that mana crystals were one of the practice resources, but Sean said it will be detrimental to practice. I was little disappointed, but soon my expression turned very happy. Sean giving advice about mana crystals means there is a possibility of having some mana crystals in a pouch in my hand. I opened the skill folder first because I want to check skill above all. Blazing Strikes is the skill which throws the concentrated bolts of fire. The more concentrated fire is, the more lethal it will become. As I keep reading a description, my expression morphed in utter shock. This skill is too powerful. As long as I get basic mastery over it, I don't think any leftovers in Westblood will be my match, either from the government or organization. Only those who have skill comparable to Blazing Strikes will be matched for me in the same realm. And this is only low-level knight grade skill. I wonder how powerful medium and high-level knight skills are, but I am sure about the one thing. The skills that Sean and his friends use are only low-level skill, because medium and high-level knight skill has a very high requirement that even Sean can't able satisfy at private grade. The only prerequisite of this skill is that your mana has to be 80% minimum. My mana will reach that purity will in a few days. My hand is shaking a little bit excited as I look at the pouch, the white in color with white runes drawn all over it. I was shocked when looked inside the pouch. It had about 1 meter cubic space, but that's not what shocked. What shocked me most is the things inside it. There are sword hilt, a silver bracelet which looked quite stylish, 1 potion bottle and 5 thumbnail-size colorless crystals. They are mana crystals. They look like coins made of crystals, and top of them is the same logo I've seen on the clothing of Central Continent's youth. A 5 petals red jasmines, this seemed to be the logo of their organization. The pouch size can be adjusted. It can be made big as my arm and small as the current palm size. As I removed the sword hilt from the pouch, I saw Rhea also doing the same. The sword did not look as normal sword hilt, but did not look that special. If someone looked at it, he would only give second glance before forgetting about it. It's less noticeable than Sean and Jim were using. I feel happy seeing that, as I could use outside without noticed being special. I only hope this sword would suit me. If it turned in broadsword or long sword, then it would be quite troublesome. I startled because when I input my mana into it, I come to know that I can manipulate its size. I can turn to scimitar or falchion any sword I want, or completely different sword which suitable for me. I have heard this type of size manipulating artifacts exist, but never seen with my eyes. Rhea had also manipulated her sword size. It is a little different than before. It wider than before, and looking at her bulging muscle little heavier also. I notice that when I am manipulating the sword its weight increased and decreased, and that is not controllable. And I notice another interesting thing, that it took very less mana than the grade 1 sword that I am using, approximately 5 times less. Even if I was in the initial level of private grade, I still could use this sword easily, and another thing is, I could activate and deactivate this sword easily. Next, I received the bracelet. I know this is not a bracelet but shield, like sword earlier. It can also be easily manipulatable. It will be very helpful to me defending against my opponent easily. If I had this shield earlier, I would have had an easier time fighting that monster and would have been less injured. The bottle is normal thumb-size potion bottle which is continuing yellow liquid. There is no information on it, but I know it is very precious. The last thing is 5 colorless thumbnail-size mana crystals. The ones saw on news were very coarse and not refined as these ones. Rhea and I found 3 things on our space pouch similarly. Instead of shield-type artifact, she got shoe-type artifacts. I don't think it is a coincidence that we got artifacts that is suitable for us. When Sean and Carol discussed something earlier, I saw him doing something to our space pouches. It must be Sean doing, given us the artifacts that is suitable for us, as Rhea's offense is strong but her speed is slow, so shoe-type artifact best suited for her, and I focused very less on my defense, so the shield is necessary for me to defend against the attacks that I can't dodge. I will have to thank Sean if I am ever able to meet him again. I am about to put the pouch in my backpack. It will be quite dangerous if someone takes note I have space pouch with me. Gasp, Rhea gasped. When I looked I found her staring at the right pocket of her pants. What happened? I asked her, seeing her acting like that. Try to put your space pouch in your pocket, she said instead. I looked at her confusedly, seeing she not saying anything. I put my space pouch in my pocket. Gasp. I also gasped seeing what happened. my space pouch which I put in my pocket had merged with my pocket. If someone looked from outside, one will find it nothing different, and I just have to supply the mana inside to store or took out the thing inside it. It is simply miraculous. It will immensely help in time of emergency, and I would have to be little careful inputting and removing things in others' presence. There are a lot of precious ores and crystals here, I said. She nodded in affirmation. We both started to collect the crystals and ores that we found precious, and this time we don't have to worry about space and weight, as whatever we put inside the space pouch will become weightless. I also put the precious things that I have in my backpack into my space pouch. Not to be too obvious to others, we still decided to keep many things in my pack back and only keep most precious into the space pouch. The space pouch is only 1/3 is filled after putting so many things inside. Dark will come soon, we shout. Get out of this cave, said Rhea. I nodded and started to leave with her. Looking at my holowatch, only 1 hour remained till dark and we hadn't found a suitable spot yet.